Morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Money Mondays. Yes, today is Monday, November 16th. It is now 7:32. Every Monday, Eddie Colson and myself do Money Mondays, where we talk about stocks, real estate, investments, and anything overall finance, money, or business related. So if you have business questions, finance questions, get them ready. Today, we're going to have a very exciting show. Eddie's going to talk about something in the real estate. I don't even know, because everybody knows I hate real estate. And I'm going to talk about something in the stock market. But today we actually have a very exciting show. It's how to use the law of attraction to make money with Avalaura Henry. I believe Avalaura's last name is right. Henry. So I know she is on the line waiting, ready to go. Avalaura, just stay tuned. We will be to you in a minute. Hello to everybody in the room. I believe I said hello to Mary May, Gina, Lovely, and Bridal Tribe. So
Bridal
Cynthia's
Tribe,
in the house. Yeah.
How's it going, Bridal Tribe? Cynthia.
So Eddie, anything exciting happened during the weekend, or are you just going to let me down like you normally do?
Man, look.
Just for the record, you're like the worst. You're like the worst 20-something I've ever met in my life.
Look, I got the best smoking deal ever this weekend, and
You smoke?
all I've been doing.
You smoke?
No. I said,
The ganja?
no, not at all. We'll wait till it's legal. But it was, now you got me messed up.
All right, refocus, man.
I got this smoking deal, man, on the contract, and I've been trying to secure financing for it. So that's all I've been doing. I got some people that's already looking at it, and that's all I've been doing all this weekend. All
right, what kind of property?
It's a rehab property. The acquisition is $330,000. The rehabs is $75,000, and the ARVs is $575,000, conservatively speaking.
All right, now Tub, you're using those fancy acronyms again. What is an ARV?
ARV is average retail value, pretty much meaning that houses are being sold for that much. So I'm buying it for $330,000, and I'm putting $75,000 into it, which it needs to be able to sell it $575,000 or more.
Is that property you did the walkthrough on Periscope?
No. I actually got outbidded on that one. So yeah.
See what happens when you go in too cheap.
I mean, the person who wanted it, it wasn't an investor, so I couldn't compete with a homeowner. You know what I mean? That
Okay.
actually live in the property.
Right. All right. So that's it for your weekend. You got a bid, and that's it, right? No
That was it, man.
dinner, no dancing, no nice young ladies, no nothing.
Nah, man.
No shenanigans.
Unfortunately. I'm sorry.
Listen, folks, every week I ask Eddie the same exact question.
Hey, last weekend was pretty good, right?
This guy won't even have the decency to lie to me and give me some concocted story about what his weekend was like. I mean, help us old married men out, all right? But no, in all seriousness, folks, we're going to get going in just a little bit. Feel free to tell a little bird, which is to tweet it out and let everybody know that we're live, and also tell your friends on Facebook. So they changed that button, I see. It's no longer tell your auntie, it's tell your friends. I thought tell your auntie was a bit better. I thought that was kind of funny.
It makes more sense, though, because it's an F, Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook. I get it. So first of all, I just want to take a moment. I would like to have a moment of silence for all the senseless violence that's going on around the world. 147 victims in Kenya. I know there was a bunch of massive murders. And Gina, give us 1 second. We're going to have Avalaura, and she's going to be our special guest in a few minutes. And Eddie and I have to work through our sets. And we will definitely have questions and answers in a little while towards the end of the show. But just wanted to say, let's take a moment of silence for all the senseless violence that's going on. Like I said, Kenya, 147 people. Nigeria, I saw there were some mass killings. In France, which is central in media right now, I'm speechless, really, of how people do these crazy, crazy things. So let's just have a quick moment of silence for that. All right. Well, the stock market today was little affected by the tragic events going on around the world. The Dow Jones was up today, up almost 1.38%. S&P 500 was up almost almost 1.5%. And the NASDAQ was up 1.15%. So stocks look pretty good for the day. So everybody's making money, which is always a good thing. Now, oil, I saw, which was hitting some pretty low lows, was down at over $40, bounced up a buck. So it closed at like 41. Let me pull the exact number for everyone. 41.87. It closed at. So that's interesting. Now, the really interesting thing is oil is going down, but gas prices are going up. So part of the reason for that is we're seeing more demand with people driving their cars. They're saying, hey, gas is cheap again. Let's get out on the road. So you're seeing more people actually buying cars also. So more people are buying cars, more people are traveling more. So the cost of gas has been going up just a little bit, about 10 cents, 15 cents. Now, for us who've been getting used to that sub $2.20 gas price, it was a bit of a sticker shock. But all in all, it's far from the $3, $4 range that we were experiencing just a couple of years ago. So I'm pretty happy with that. But sticking on the energy front, my story today is about Boone Pickens. Eddie, have you ever heard about Boone Pickens?
No, what's that?
So Boone Pickens is a guy. He's actually pretty popular. T. Boone Pickens is actually his name. He actually is a billionaire who made a bunch of money in oil. And a few years back, he was really, really vocal about America diversifying its energy mixture. So largely America uses oil. We use some natural gas, a little bit of electricity. And he was saying it should be more natural gas since it's so cheap for us to produce. And we can start to outsource a lot of it. Now, a lot of what he's saying has actually come to fruition. But recently, this billionaire has been losing his shirt because his energy fund has lost a whole bunch of money. So everybody thinks billionaires make money by that boatloads all the time. That's not always true. Boone Pickens has actually lost his fortune previously before, and now he's struggling a little bit with his fund. Now it's not all of his money this time, so he learned his lesson. It's only a small smidgen. His portfolio is down about $35 million since the downturn in oil. So that's not too bad, but it's kind of, I don't want to say funny, but it's kind of ironic that the oil guy's losing money in oil. But that just goes to show that nobody expected this oil downturn. So there's lots of opportunity when unexpected things happen in the market. You just got to be ready for them.
Yeah. Cool.
So, the other story. Marriott is buying Star Wars. Star Wars is another hotel chain. $12.2 billion. Now, the last couple of weeks, we've been seeing a lot of merger activity from Marriott to, I had a whole list of them. I can't think of it off the top of my head. But from Marriott and a few others, $1 billion deals. And that's largely because corporations still have trillions and trillions of dollars on its balance sheets. So my expectation is that corporations will continue to buy, and that will help boost up the stock market for the most part. So the economy is doing well. We're buying things, and it's all good. Anything going on in the world of real estate, Eddie?
The recent article that I've read, they were pretty much saying that millennials are starting to be the main buyers of, first-time homeowners. So if you're in real estate, if you're a rehabber like myself, where you buy properties, fix it up, and then sell it, a lot of your clientele will be millennials. So that really just means that you need to start focusing more so on targeting the younger crowd, people of my age.
Wow.
I
Now, Eddie, do you own your home where you live?
just own rental property. I don't own the house that I live in myself. No, not yet.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of millennials believe in renting versus buying, and I've also seen that there's actually other real estate investors that I know who've done very, very well who don't rent. I mean, who don't own. They don't own property personally. They'll rent from somebody or they will rent from their corporation. So I find that kind of interesting also. You have a take on that?
That's actually smart. I mean, I'm sure you'll have some type of tax benefits when it comes to that. Especially because if your LLC owns the home, but then you're renting out the house. Not exactly sure. I never thought about that though.
Thanks. I don't want to jack your name, but I want to say it's Phoenicia. Thanks for telling Little Bird. Welcome to Sunshine, Pop, and Justin. So it is 7:43, and Avalaura, if you are ready to come on, we want to figure out how to attract money with the law of attraction. Now, just to let y'all know, I want to have lots of jokes for this. Because every time I think about the law of attraction when it comes to money, I think about The Secret.
There you go.
And it's very woo woo. It's very woo woo.
But let me tell you
So
this.
I'm only like I'm like half woo woo, half not woo woo. So I guess I'm like a ooh. So I don't know.
I'm half woo woo and half not too. So there you go. We on the same page.
All right.
You know what though, Kamari? The first 6 months of my real estate career, you know, I think maybe like the first 3 months I didn't close a deal at all. And then I started watching The Secret and I applied what the sister said. I started closing deals.
So you just started saying,
There you go.
You watch The Secret. That's not what The Secret said.
Hey, Avalaura, I told you I got jokes, man. We got to keep it alive and loud. Anytime we talk about money, nobody wants to be bored talking about money. It's got to be fun at least somewhat, right? But no, we're just having fun.
What's going on, Ava?
Nothing much. Working, making money. Making money. But I mean, Kamari, I'm glad you said that, and I'm glad you said that off the break because probably so many people are thinking just like you. And when they think of the law of attraction, they're thinking of The Secret. And you know, one of the main things that, you know, that I have to tell people about The Secret is that The Secret only talked about the law of attraction.
Right. Well, hold on. Let's not get going to who are you?
You know,
who are you? I know. Who are you and why do you deserve to talk about the law of attraction?
Ooh, why do I deserve to talk about it?
That's right.
First of all, my name is Avalaura Gaither-Bahari, and I'm an intuitive consultant and life coach. I work primarily with women and leaders and helping them to truly live their best life in the flow of passion and purpose and create the legacies that they want to leave. And so it's not about what you're doing right now, but it's about what kind of impact you really want to make in the world. I work with a lot of very mission-driven, heart-centered people that want to leave a mark. And so, you know, even when we're talking about the law of attraction and things like that, all of these things play into what type of life am I living, what am I creating, and what am I leaving behind. And so it's central to most of the work that I do, truthfully.
Now, how did you get started in being an intuitive consultant?
Yes.
How did you get started becoming an intuitive consultant?
So my background is in psychology. I have a bachelor's degree in psychology and a master's degree in social work. And, you know,
so
yeah.
You love the kids. You love the world.
I'm definitely, you know, my client and that I'm a very mission-driven, heart-centered person. Okay. So I understand my client very intimately because I am that person.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I tell people, you know, I had a certain plan for my life, you know, so to speak, and things certainly went into a different course. They did not go the way that I ever thought they were going to go, but I know that I'm right where I'm supposed to be. And that came from doing a lot of the work that I help my clients to do, a lot of the inner work, a lot of the who am I, why am I here, what makes me happy, what fulfills me, what is the mark that I want to leave on this world. And in doing that work, that shifted my course, so to speak. Even though my training certainly is a part of what I do, I would not be as effective in what I do now without it. But it's not the central focus now of what I do. I've really expanded that work.
Okay. Okay. So tell us about the law of attraction and how you help your clients attract money.
I'm looking at your face, and he's just like, I gotta hear this because
I'm trying to get some of this money. Money.
How do you do that?
You know what? I really I like what Eddie had to say, and just talking about his experience and when he started out in real estate, and then also what the shifts, right, that he had to make in order to start making money. And actually, I can actually relate to that because my husband also is in real estate. And, he will tell you that when he started out, he didn't make any money either. He spent lots of money. He spent thousands of dollars on trainings and doing all this work, but he didn't make any money. And it wasn't until he lost his job, right? It wasn't until he lost his job. It wasn't until he had no other choice. He didn't have anything to fall back on. He now only had this real estate thing that he was kind of, playing with, so to speak. Right, going back and forth. Now he had to do it. Now he started reading those books, all of these books, and you think about it, all of these books that we talk about when we talk about real estate, when we talk about business, Think and Grow Rich, As a Man Thinketh, E-Myth, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, all of these books, they all talk about your thinking and your mindset. All of them. They give you little technique, but really what they're talking about is what do you think? And so when you think about that, we talk about the law of attraction. That's one of the laws of what do you think? What are you putting in and what's coming out?
They tell you that in the first chapter that you always skip. Yeah.
Always. It's the work that nobody wants to do because everybody wants to rush. Kamara, you just said, I want to know how to make the money.
Exactly.
Well, everybody wants to know how to make the money, but they don't want to do the groundwork. They want to skip the middle. They want to skip what are the shifts that you need to make in order to make that money.
That's right. Who wants to work on B through Y? I want to go from A to Z.
There you go. There you go. It's human nature. It's human nature. And I understand that. And that's why I'm so effective in being able to help my clients with that, because I understand that they want to skip to the end. I know they don't want to go through and do the work. It's not fun. It's not cute. It's not sexy, but it's necessary.
Yeah, I know the feeling. I get people who come to me all the time and say, I want to create a stock portfolio and make millions and millions of dollars. And I have $50 and I don't know how to save. So I get it.
Yep. And what's so interesting about that is that I have partnerships with 2 people who actually work in money, who help with debt, eliminate debt, who help their clients with bankruptcies, to help their clients save up, budget, for whatever their goals are, whether it's buying a house, whether it's saving up for a wedding, whatever it might be. And both of them, when they met me, they said, Avalaura, I need you. And I said, why? What's going on? And they said, I have clients who have all of these money issues. They come to me for help and they have all of this baggage. I am not a life coach. I can't help them with that. I give them the tools to make the money and to save the money, but I can't help them with all the baggage that's holding them back from not creating the money or not saving the money.
Yep. Because money, and helping people with money is way more about the money. It's about how they think about money, their relationship with money, their past experiences with money, what their outlook on life is overall. So it can be very tricky. And a lot of people who deal one-on-one with people and work with money are kind of like pseudo therapists, so to speak.
That's what happens is they have to become that, but they don't want to do that. They just want to help you to make the money.
Yep.
That's all they want to do. They want you to come to them ready to do the work so they can give you the techniques and the strategies to make the money. They don't want to go through your childhood and see what's going on and why you can't save money and why as soon as you get money, you spend it, you have a hole in your pocket. They don't want to go through all of that. They just want to give you the strategies and the techniques to make the money.
All right, so give us the facts. Tell us about the law of attraction and everything, and all the other laws that you want to talk about as well. Because we just use law of attraction because that's what people know and that's what they recognize.
That's what you know. Exactly, that's what you know. And the thing that's important to remember. Let me go back to The Secret for a minute. And that, like I said, The Secret only addressed the law of attraction. That's it. Understanding there are 6 fundamental laws. So when you look at that, there's 6 fundamental laws, and all The Secret did was cover 1. Of course, it's incomplete. And so a lot of times people looked at it and say, oh, that's woo woo, or that's too pie in the sky, or it can't be easy. It doesn't work that way. Yes and no. Part of it certainly was true. It just wasn't the whole truth. So it's not, and it's a movie. It's 2 hours. It's not gonna, it's not gonna go through all of that. I bet you if it did go through all 6 laws and all these things that we're talking about, it wouldn't be a hit. It wouldn't be a bestseller, right?
That's true. That's true. Now I feel like you said it's 6 laws.
Stuff that they know people want to hear about, the sort of the magic cure, so to speak, and everybody bought in because that's what people want.
Yeah.
So you said it's 6 laws. Well, wait a minute, Eddie. It's 6 laws. Now I need to get prepared here. I feel like we're about to go deep. So should I be burning some incense and lighting a candle and getting some peppermint tea ready or something?
You don't even need to do all of that. I mean, and these are things that, when you think about it, you're like, oh, that makes sense. It's not woo-woo at all. Okay. The law of attraction really isn't woo-woo. It's fact. It's what actually happens. It's just that we just gave it a name, law of attraction. So the name might be woo-woo, but the actual law of attraction is not woo-woo.
Okay.
It's all marketing, right? We got to give it a name. We got to make it sexy for people to say, ooh, what's that?
Yeah, everything is marketing these days or some kind of spin. So, I mean, I get that. I guess for me, I want more steak and less sizzle. So,
like I said, you want the money. You don't want to do the work. You just want to help.
No. I'm willing to do the work. That's not the problem. So when you have your steak, you got to marinate it. You got to season it up. You got to cook it. It takes time. I'm all for that. But when the sizzle was just that hot, because they turned the pan up real hot and you did your thing in the kitchen, but it's bland, it's overcooked, so it's tough. It has no taste to it, and you need to put A1 sauce all over it. That's not a good look.
That's not how you should have your steak. Yeah, because it shouldn't be A1.
Exactly.
They're like, what does this talk about steak?
Yeah, I just went off.
Sunshine.
I'm hungry.
Let's answer Sunshine's question. She says, how much of a role does insecurities play when it comes to attracting, repelling money?
Yeah. Lauren, is there any particular insecurities that you're talking about? Because definitely insecurities play a role, but is there anything specific that you have a question about? I'll wait. But yeah, insecurities definitely play a role in our money. When you think about it, so one of the first laws is that that our primary beliefs, our core beliefs, come from our experiences in childhood. They come from our parents. They come from our teachers. They come from the people that raised us, right? The people that we spent the most time with, our core beliefs.
That's one of the 6 laws.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And so, to Lauren's question, when we talk about insecurities, right? If there are particular insecurities that, that you had as a child, those insecurities now, and let me say this, if you have not done anything to reprogram yourself or to really heal those insecurities, then they're absolutely going to play out, not just in your money, but in your life and in everything. Because everything goes back to the core beliefs that were formed as a child. And a lot of what happens is we don't know what those core beliefs are. Most of us don't. So I'll give you an example about that. I had a client who, she had, there were a number of things that she was dealing with, but one of them was absolutely money. She had like what I call, money burned a hole in her pocket. She could not keep money. So as soon as she would make it, it would be gone. And she had worked with people previously trying to get out of debt. Nothing that she had done had worked. And through our work together, one of the things that she discovered, a lot of what I do is take my clients through a process of determining what their beliefs are, asking a series of different questions, things that they never would have even thought about. And one of the things that came out of that work was she had a memory of when she was about 8 or 9 years old. And she was saving up money. She had a piggy bank. I mean, I don't know if people still have those, but she had a piggy bank. And she was saving up her money. There was a toy that she wanted to buy. And she had finally saved up enough money to buy this toy. She was so excited. She went to her piggy bank to go get her money. And she saw that the piggy bank was cracked open and the money was gone. And, 8 or 9 years, she starts crying. She didn't know what happened. She's looking everywhere for her money. She has no idea what happened. And then she goes, crying, telling her mother what happened, that she couldn't find her money. Her money was gone. And essentially what came out was that her mother had taken the money and spent it on lottery tickets.
Oh, damn.
And so she was crushed. Again, 8 or 9 years old. And so in that moment, she made a decision that nobody was ever going to be able to spend her money again.
Wow.
So in order to do that, she had to spend her money before anybody else could get access to it. So that's why she could never keep money. So she came to me, she's 36 years old, and she's still doing this behavior, and she had no idea why.
Wow.
And it went back to that time at 8 or 9 years old where she realized her mother took her money and she was never going to allow anybody to violate her like that again.
So she had this repressed memory that went all the way back to when she was 8 or 9 years old. So we're talking almost 28 years.
Yes.
That was really directing her habits and relationship towards money.
Absolutely.
And that's why she couldn't keep any money. She would spend it immediately as soon as she got it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
So how do you break these psychological, how do you break those habits?
One of the first things that we have to do, and this is the work, we have to really look at, the thing behind the thing behind the thing, peeling the layers of the onion. What is it that you truly believe? Not what you say you believe, not what you want to believe, but what is it that you truly believe? Because that's what's driving you. We say it all the time that your thoughts create your reality, and so that's what happens. Your thoughts are creating your reality, not what you wish your thoughts were, not what your affirmations that you're trying to say are, but your actual thoughts are what are creating your reality. So we need to get to what are your thoughts, not judging them, because a lot of us will judge them. Because when she looked at that, it was painful, it hurt, it was a wound. She had to heal from that. But a lot of us will look back and judge it. And so when you're judging it, you're not actually healing from it and releasing it. You're simply judging it. And that's what a lot of us do. So even when we remember things, we judge it. And so we never actually get over it. It's still affecting us.
There's a book I'm listening to, an audio book. It's called The Magic of Thinking Big. Mm-hmm. It talks a little bit about how your words and your thoughts are connected, and the things that you say are actually a direct reflection of your thoughts. So absolutely. If it's telling you to not say certain things and to watch your language, is that judging it in a sense?
Here's the thing. Yeah, there's a balance in that. There's a balance in that, because that's sort of borderline the affirmation route, and that if you just say positive things, then it'll happen. But again, one of the things that I teach my clients that we have to go through first is you can't build a house on quicksand. Okay. You have to have a nice, strong, firm foundation. Then you can build your house. So you can't do the cover up. You can't say, oh, I'm a millionaire. I attract millions of dollars to me. But in your head, you're thinking I'm not worthy of money. You're going back to, as a child, when your parents asked you, when you said, I want this for Christmas, and they said, we don't have enough money. Right? How many times did we hear, we don't have it? We broke. Yeah. And so you're trying to say, well, I'm a millionaire. I'm a millionaire. I'm a millionaire. And the book might be saying, well, don't say it. And great, don't say it, but what are you doing to get rid of that thought? So it's not enough to not say it, but you have to go through a process to actually release that thought and then reprogram it.
So how do you release the thought?
It really is a step-by-step process. It's a process that I use called clean mind process. And, the first part is, like I said, it's really a series of questions and exercises to get to the core of what is it that you're believing. Because again, if we don't do that, if we just skip to what it is that you want, it's not going to work. It's not going to be effective because your thoughts are what are still driving you. So it's a step-by-step process of a series of questions and exercises. What do you believe? What's holding you back? What's keeping you stuck? Asking you in different ways, what are the beliefs that you got from your mother? What are the beliefs that you got from your father? Right? All of these things that really day to day, we don't even think about. We don't think about these things. We just act, we just move. We just say this is what we want, but we don't really think about all the thoughts that we've had previously that might be preventing us from having that. So it's kind of like we got to go back to go forward. Right. In African tradition, we call that Sankofa. Go back to go forward.
Go fetch it. Yep. So that is that still part one of the 6 foundational laws?
Yes, that's one. So you see how this gets deep? That's just one.
Okay. All right. What's 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6? Do we have enough time for those?
I don't know if we do. And Lauren is asking, so I just wanted to get to her question. So she said healing actually has to, how many questions does Lauren have? Our history as African Americans struggle a lot with insecurities, especially when it comes to wealth and success. Yeah, that's true. And it's not, yes, African Americans, we definitely, struggle with that. If you look a lot with, let's take athletes, because we see this all the time. We see this all the time. We've seen it with celebrities too. They're making millions and millions of dollars and they're filing for bankruptcy. They've essentially, once they got the money, they did not know how to keep it. They did not have the tools to know how to, you were talking about stocks, how to invest their money, how to grow their money. They didn't have people around them that could tell them, this is how you need to set yourself up, to really keep your money and then grow it. And so a lot of that, of course, does come out of our history. If you're used to not having anything in the first place, when you finally get it, you go back to not having it again. You will create a way to continue that cycle because that, again, is the programming. That's the training. That's what you're used to. So even though now you're in this position to make millions of dollars, again, your thoughts are in control. Your thoughts are going to be say, oh, no, you're not supposed to be rich. You're not supposed to have money. Nobody else around you has money. And so you sabotage yourself.
So that's kind of like the imposter syndrome.
Yes. Yep.
See, I told you I'm like a pseudo like fake therapist. But Laura, you gotta stick around. We're gonna come back to it. I'll get Avalaura or somebody to talk about that.
Yeah, I see a lot of great comments. I haven't been able to read them, but I see some great comments on the side.
Yeah, we on it popping it. We on it popping tonight. Avalaura, I want you to get through your whole presentation of the 6 points.
Absolutely.
Because no offense to anybody else, because I definitely want to get to your questions. But if we keep breaking for questions, we won't be able to make it through. And we will be here all night, and I'm not staying all night, y'all.
I won't be here all night.
I told you I'm hungry.
You all might be.
I was hungry.
So another one of the laws, and this is really important, is that you create your reality based on your beliefs. Whether your beliefs are true, false, doesn't matter. You create your reality based on your beliefs. So even if your beliefs are false, you're still going to create your reality based on that. And what a lot of people don't realize is that they tend to think that, oh, that's not true, so therefore it holds no significance to me. But if your ego believes that it's true, guess what? It's true. If you believe it's true, it's true. And that's one of the powerful things about belief. So I just saw, I'll take an example with body image. So when we think about women, we think about anorexia, bulimia, right? Here you have a woman that might be 100 pounds, and she looks in the mirror and she sees somebody that's 200 pounds. And she thinks that she needs to bend, she needs to purge to lose this weight, because when she looks in the mirror, she's overweight. But we see somebody who clearly needs to eat and gain weight.
She needs a sandwich.
She needs a sandwich. But she believes that she's overweight and she needs to lose it. And so even though that's not true, that's how she's going to respond to life. That's what she's going to create in her life.
Wow.
So it doesn't matter if your belief isn't true. If you believe it, it's true, and you create your reality based on that.
Yeah. What about if you're around a bunch of people who's doing well, they're positive, they're successful, and they have a good mindset? Will you eventually be in the same, you know what I mean, like wavelength? Or
it certainly helps. Like Jim Rohn said, we become the sum of the 5 people that we surround ourselves with.
Right.
And it's certainly true that you start to think differently, you start to act differently, you become different based on the people that you surround yourselves. If they are of a higher level thinking, you can certainly elevate your thinking. Absolutely.
Right. You have a different conversation. You're being forced to think about different things.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I just finished a book called The Happiness Advantage by Sean Aker.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if folks can see that. They were just talking about, the same things. So if you're hanging around folks who like to play basketball, you may tend to get better at basketball over time, or at least more knowledgeable about basketball theory over time. If you hang around people who talk about stocks, you'll get better at stocks. If you hang around people who talk about real estate or do real estate, you'll get better at real estate. So forth and so on.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Don't forget to tell a little bird, guys.
Yeah, but again, what's important is that that's still not necessarily going to erase all of the things that were done in your past.
Right.
So let's say you're hanging around a bunch of people that is really counter to what you grew up with. It's going to stretch you. It's going to get you outside of your comfort zone, but you're still going to have to do some work to really look at what are those past beliefs, because one of the things that you might find is that maybe you're not necessarily as successful as them. And it's not because you don't have the ability. It's simply because maybe you had a different background. So I'll give you an example where, one of the questions that I always ask my clients when we start talking about, ways that our paradigms, the things that we hold on to, the things that we believe. I always ask them, how much money did your parents make growing up? And a lot of times, Black folks, we don't even know because our parents never told us, right? We just don't even talk about money. It's just, so that's one of the problems right there. We don't even discuss money. So then as an adult, how are you supposed to know how to create money and make it if you didn't even have these conversations in your home, right? So a lot of times they don't even know. So, they might guess, I don't know, they made 50,000 or 60,000. So I say, okay, 60,000. So let's take, your parents made $60,000 a year. As an adult now, do you believe that you can make $60,000 a year? And they say, oh yeah, absolutely, I can do that. I'm already making that, or I'm making more than that. And I say, okay, great. Can you make $10 million a year? And they kind of sit back and say, Now the first thing is, well, yeah, sure, because we want to be able to make $10 million a year, right? Who doesn't want to make $10 million a year? But then the thought becomes, well, how do I actually really do that? I want to say yes, because of course I can. Anything is possible. But I don't know how it's possible, so therefore I have to think about that. I'm not sure if I really can. And so what happens, and so then I say, okay, so what about if you were Donald Trump's children? Do you think that you could easily make $10 million a year? And I said, oh yeah, absolutely I could, because, Donald Trump raised me and he makes, millions of dollars a year. And that's exactly it. It's the differences in how we were raised in our experiences. When you come from, a home where money is not even talked about, I know people, they didn't even know how to have a bank account. They didn't know anything about savings, let alone forget about stocks and real estate. You know what I mean? They didn't know even the basics. And so when you come from that environment, you don't even know how much your parents made. And then you get out there, and even if you start making money, it becomes a challenge as to, okay, how much money can I really create and how can I grow my money, just because I wasn't raised that way.
Yeah. Definitely.
So is that law 2 or 3? I'm trying to keep up with the laws.
Okay. Third is that, and this is, I want you all to hear this. So psychologists estimate that we think anywhere around 40 to 60,000 thoughts a day. 40 like 75,000 thoughts a day. So we'll take an average of 60,000 thoughts, right? That we have an average of 60,000 thoughts every single day. And what a lot of people don't realize is that the majority of those thoughts are negative thoughts. So about 80% of those thoughts are negative. And not only 80% of those thoughts are negative, but 80% of those negative thoughts, we have those same negative thoughts every single day.
Wow.
So what happens is, whatever our programming is, we reprogram ourselves every single day with those same thoughts, because we're thinking them and it's just going on in the background. You're not even aware of it. You're totally unconscious to it, but you're having these same negative thoughts every single day. So that's why a lot of times when we're trying to create change, it's so difficult, because you're fighting these negative thoughts that you're having every single day. And so we think, okay, in the case of, I want to lose weight, you get a book and look, everybody knows how to lose weight. You don't have to pick up any diet book. You don't have to do anything. You know that if you exercise and you cut back on your calorie intake, you're going to lose weight. But how come so many people don't do it? It's not hard. But how come so many of us don't do it?
It is hard.
Well, you just proved my point.
Whether you believe it is or it isn't, it is whatever you believe it is.
There you go. And so that's really what it is that you're fighting these negative thoughts, whatever those negative thoughts are, and you're programming yourself these same negative thoughts every single day. You're literally fighting science. And that's not woo-woo at all. That's science. You can look that up.
Science is woo-woo. Definitely.
For some people.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. So if every single day your mindset is telling you negative things and positive things, I'm sure, right? Hopefully.
It's definitely positive there, but remember I said 80%. So yeah, there's gonna be positive. It's not hopeless. We have positive too, but the majority is negative.
So can you single out the things that you have issues with in your paradigm, and pretty much say those affirmations that may be counter, to what you actually believe, but maybe over time, if you say affirmations every single day that specifically hits the ones that you don't believe, maybe eventually you'll start to believe it?
Okay, so if you have an average of 60,000 negative thoughts every single day, How many affirmations are you gonna have to say every day to to release that?
I mean, but you do it.
I mean, think about it. If you say 100, if you say 1,000 affirmations every day, right? How is that going to counter 60,000? Now, here's the thing. It's not that affirmations don't work, because affirmations do have power. It's just that they're not going to work in the beginning. They're not going to work until you actually flesh out the negative beliefs. And then on the back end, you can replace them with affirmations.
Gotcha.
And then we're not even conscious of all the thoughts that we're actually having. So that's kind of hard. I know I'm a big Wayne Dyer fan. He used to talk about ants, all the automatic negative thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
So, and how to carry yourself.
They're completely unconscious. Right. Yeah. See, over here we need 5 positives for every negative. Yeah. I mean, you think about it all the time. Somebody gives you a compliment and you're happy, but then somebody basically, talks bad about you, talks behind your back, gossips, whatever, and you forget all about that compliment. You're focused on the person that talked bad about you. It's how we are. It's literally how our minds work, that we always gravitate more to the negative. That's why it is so important to, like you said, who you surround yourself with. And it is so important as to, the things that you watch on TV, what you listen to, what you put into yourself. All of those things are so important, because already we're programmed to the negative.
Okay. So that's still law number 2, correct? No,
that's where are we at? 3, 4?
Was that a law? Because you said you create your reality based on your beliefs. So that's still
No, the law is the understanding that the average, how many thoughts that we have, and that they're negative.
Okay.
Generate abundance said we are what
That's
we
right. Eat. Garbage in, garbage out.
That's true.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. So the Generate Abundance is my homegirl. She be having me eat all kinds of granola and liquor.
I know her. Yeah, Philly. Yep. I know her. We have a mutual friend in common. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I cut you off, Avalaura. I'm sorry.
No problem. And so the next one is that, again, we kind of already talked about this, but this is one of the laws, that no 2 objects can exist at the same time. Right? No 2 objects can exist in the same space at the same time. And so a good example, I'll take a very simple example. Holidays are coming up. Everybody's rushing to the mall. We all know when the holidays come up, everybody's going to the mall. Parking is limited. It's so limited that sometimes you got to follow people, right, to get a parking space. There's no available spaces, so you have to follow somebody to get a space. And I've experienced this, so I'm talking from personal experience. And you finally get a space, and you're so excited, you get in there, and then somebody else tries to get the same space. And then somebody got to make a decision who's going to get that space, because 2 cars can't occupy the same space at the same time. So in order for 1 car to go in, 1 car got to come out. So 2 objects cannot occupy the same space at the same time. So if you want more money in your life, you can't have in that space, I don't deserve money. I can't have money. I don't have enough. I do spiritual work, so I can't charge for my money. I can't charge, right? You can't, they can't operate together. One has to go.
Makes sense.
Again, not woo-woo, it's just facts.
That's physics.
Yeah,
that's just fact.
So I guess you could also extrapolate that and talk about focus as well.
What do you mean?
You know how they talk about multitasking and how multitasking is not really real. The mind can really only focus on one thing at a time. A lot of us especially with our phones or with social media or talking to another person and trying to have 2 conversations at the same time, but it usually doesn't work.
Yeah. It's true. I mean, we do think that, especially women, because we multitask all the time, and we are better at it than men, generally speaking. So we think
Dad, there's the dig. There's the dig.
I said, generally speaking, it's not a dig. There's always exceptions to the rule.
You brought it up. You brought it up. So, but you could have been gender neutral.
For the most part. I'm like, look, how many women are in here? Y'all got my back? No.
They do. They do. I ain't worried about that. That's why I'm not going too deep with it.
There's science to back it up. Yes. I'm getting props, so they got my back.
Where's the eject button for the room? Do we have any? I got jokes.
But here's the thing. It definitely has been proven that, you know, multitasking is not that productive. So you're right on that. And for that exact point, it's that you can't fully focus on something when you're focused on 2-3 things at the same time. Now, we live in a multitasking world. I mean, that's just how it is. We're almost trained to have to multitask. But, you know, what's really interesting when you look at some people who are really successful, actually, I think I just posted this in my Super Soul Success group on Facebook. And one of the things it was talking about how introverts are able to make so much money, right? How many millionaire introverts there are, how they make so much money. And a lot of it, and even people with ADHD and things like that, is because they learn how to focus. Like when you can take that energy and focus on one thing, then you become wildly successful. But for those of us who are focused on, you know, 50 million things all at once, it decreases our focus, it decreases our clarity, so that it's more difficult for us to manifest the things that we want, because we're literally all over the place. So you're absolutely right about that. When you can channel that focus into one thing, you have a higher chance of being more successful.
Makes sense, definitely.
All right, next law.
So the next law is understanding programming. Understanding that we are literally programmed every single day.
Get into thoughts.
And say that again.
That ties back into your thoughts and what you're thinking.
It ties back into our thoughts. But yeah, understand. Yeah, absolutely. Not just our thoughts, but our experiences, everything. And so think about it like this. You know, McDonald's, right? McDonald's McDonald's is making billions of dollars, but you see the commercials every day, right? They're still airing commercials all the time. Every time we see that commercial, we are being programmed. Every time we are watching TV, we're being programmed. Every time we listen to the radio, we're being programmed. Think about a song you might have heard on the radio and you didn't like it. And then by the 15th time, because every time you turn on the radio is on, you start jamming to it, you start singing it, and you didn't even know you knew the words. But you know the words because you've heard it so many times, you know every word, and you don't even like the song.
Yep. Happens all the time.
It's programming. So understand that a part of the process is we're being programmed every single day. You know, another exercise. So I'll give you an example of that. So when you get hurt and you have a cut on your hand and you put something on top of your hand to seal that what do you call that?
Bandage.
But it's not a Band-Aid. It's an adhesive bandage. Band-Aid is a brand.
Okay.
But we call it a Band-Aid. It's programming. It ain't a Band-Aid. It's an adhesive bandage.
Wow.
It's good branding.
Wow.
So you see how that works? That I mean, we are programmed every single day.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
So
the premise that marketing is built on. Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely. So that's why marketing is so powerful. That's why people spend, literally billions of dollars on marketing, because it is so powerful, because they understand that, okay, I'll give you another example because this just happened. Patty's Pies. Did y'all see the YouTube video?
Yes, I did.
All over Facebook.
How many pies did she sell this weekend because of that YouTube video?
Probably a dozen and a million, dozen million.
I believe they said she made $2.3 million.
That's how many pies she sold.
$2.3 million worth of pies from this one video in this one weekend. That's programming, y'all. Somebody told you to go get that pie. It's gonna turn you into Patty, and he starts singing and dancing, and y'all like, oh, let me go to Walmart and get some pies.
That's good word of mouth marketing. Now let's see if Patty gives him a cut.
I'm gonna plug in my.
She needs to. I heard he got a phone call. But I would have been like, "Where's my cut? Where's my money?" But yeah, he got a phone call. So yeah, I mean that marketing. Marketing is extremely powerful. Yeah, social media, marketing, word of mouth, absolutely. But it's programming. Right. So from here on out, when we think of, first of all, it's not even Patty, it's sweet potato pie, but he called it Patty pies. You know how many times on Facebook I saw Patty's pies, Patty's pies, Patty's pies. We done made sweet potato pie Patty's pies.
That's right.
Programming.
So all right, what's the next law?
So I already told you about affirmations.
No.
So I talked about that.
Affirmations?
No, I did. I talked about the fact that, again, affirmations alone are just not going to work. They're not going to be able to counter, 60,000 negative, beliefs every single day. Okay. That's not going to happen. So affirmations alone do not work. So if you if you watch Being Mary Jane on a BET, that every day on her mirror, she has her affirmations and you see her life, ladies. You see her life is still a mess, but she has her affirmations on her mirror. Affirmations alone they don't work.
That's just because she's crazy, but that's a whole other aside.
Well, you call it crazy. Other people might call it something else. But the point is that affirmations alone don't work. That even though she's, that's something that she focuses on, we let's say we could say daily, is not enough to counter the crazy, right? It's just not enough.
So, all right, I think here's the better one. Generate abundance because she's not living the affirmations.
Well, she can't live them because that's not what she really believes. Again, she has to look at what are her beliefs. Those aren't her beliefs. Those are the things that she wants to believe, but they're not what she believes.
Okay.
So again, that goes back to what are the beliefs that she really is carrying, and they're counter to the affirmations. That's why it's not working.
So affirmations only work if you truly believe them.
There you go.
But how do you get from a state where, let's say, you're transitioning from saying, a lot of people tell me they believe money's evil, so they never have any money.
Yep.
How do you transition from believing money is evil and just believe money is a tool to be used for your abundance?
So then we got to trace it back. Where did that belief come from? Why did they even believe that in the first place? And again, not judge it, because most people will judge it. They will say, that's stupid. What do you mean money is evil? It's not evil. Don't judge it. We simply would just want to know, what is it that they really believe and why do they believe it? So we can flesh that out. That's the process that I'm talking about, the clean mind process that I use. That's what we want to do. You can't judge it, because if you judge it, you're not releasing it. It's simply going to be deep seated. And what ego is going to do is fight you and say, well, yeah, that is true, because that's what I was taught. Ego is always going to be right. Ego is always going to be right. So you can't talk somebody out of their beliefs. That's what most people try to do.
Okay, it looks like Eddie is having some technical difficulties, but we're going to keep on keeping on. So is that all of them, Avalaura?
That's all of them. And then, of course, the law of attraction.
Okay.
Yep.
So we had our core beliefs. You create your reality with your beliefs. Negativity or the 60 to 80,000 thoughts, and 80% of them are negative.
Yeah. Yep.
No two objects can exist in the same space at the same time.
Yep.
Programming, affirmations, and the law of attraction. All right, so we got all of that. All them gems. Excuse my ebonics. How do we take that and then create a beautiful mind? to where as though we create the reality that we want. We create the programming that we want so we can achieve the things that we say we want or actually really want. How do we do that?
That is the work. That is the messy, unsexy work. First, you have to know what you're dealing with. And here's the thing. That's what most books tell you. So most books will tell you, they'll speak to the laws, but then they don't tell you how to actually change your beliefs. They'll tell you that they need to change them. They'll tell you why. So they'll speak to one or more of these laws, but they don't go through the process of how. And that's why most people get stuck, because they don't know how. And that's where I come in. That's where you need help with. You can't do that alone, because most of us can't see our beliefs. They're completely unconscious. And there's some things, like I pointed to my client in the beginning, that some of these beliefs are really painful. And so we've stuffed them down, we've repressed them, and you don't want to bring them back up. So you need somebody to help you to see what's really happening. And the things that you're struggling with the most are the things that you better believe you have negative beliefs that are anchored to that. So there's some serious emotional connection that's going on that you have not been able to identify.
So let's talk about some tools folks can use. I mean, is journaling a good tool to start combating some of these things?
Journaling is a good tool. Really, and journaling, not in the way, some women will journal is that we write down everything that happened. That's not important. What you specifically want to focus on is, what is it that you think and what is it that you feel? And so if there's a particular incident that happened, you don't want to focus on the incident. This is what happened. But how do you feel about what happened? What do you think about what happened? That's what's important.
I say to people all the time that your feelings are directed by how you think. And I get pushback on that, especially by a lot of the ladies. You can't tell me how to feel. My feelings are my feelings. Those are some of the responses I get.
Well, that's true too.
But it's still predicate, you think. So how many times have you had a disagreement with someone, I don't know, say you thought they owed you money, but come to find out they sent you the money, the checks in the mail, you never opened the daggone mail. So you felt like you was cheated. That's not their fault. You thought you didn't get paid. You was wrong. And so your feelings are all hurt and your panties are in a bunch, but it's not true. So, and a lot of what you're talking about, it seems like you're looking to dig out the actual truth.
Yes.
Of things that have happened, transpired, and really get the proper, perspective on it. Is that the right?
Absolutely. Because here's the thing. So even using your example, let's say it was true, right? Let's say you did give somebody money and they didn't pay you back. You get to choose how you respond to that. So you could, like you said, you could get all upset about it. You could be hurt. You could, talk about this person. You could get your panties all in a bunch. Or you could say, look, I gave the person this money. Either they don't have it or they're not going to give it back to me. I'm just not even going to worry about it. I'm going to let it go because I'm probably not going to get that money back, and just move on.
But aren't responses and feelings two different things? I know they're connected. But they're two different things, right?
Yes. But that's what I'm saying. You get to choose your response. But again, if you have, let's say you have problems in the past with people lying to you, people betraying you, then you have a situation like this, all that stuff is going to come back up to the surface. And you're going to act out of that pain. So you're going to act out of the previous lies, the previous betrayals. So you won't be able to have this sort of more common sense approach. Money back. Let me let it go. You won't be able to do that because you're stuck in the past baggage of all these things that happened to you in the past. And so then it's like it becomes this snowball or this domino effect that this belief creates another belief, creates another belief, creates another belief. And you're so stuck in that you can't see that there's nothing I can do about it. I'm not going to get this money back. Let me just let it go.
Okay.
You can't even see that.
So that could be something someone journaled about. So that's one tool.
Absolutely.
What's another tool?
So a lot of it is simply being aware, becoming more aware of yourself. And, think about it again, our focus, we're so distracted on a day-to-day. We have a lot of times we have our days already planned out. We know what we're going to do in the morning from what we're going to do at night. We get up, we take a shower, get dressed, get breakfast, run out the door, go to work, do whatever we have to do at work. We come home, maybe spend a little bit of time with your family, watch TV, wind down, you go to bed. And this is the whole cycle. So where in that are you actually taking out time to self-reflect and to just be with yourself and sit with yourself?
I feel woo coming on.
It doesn't even have to be woo-woo.
No, I'm joking. But the time sitting and reflecting with yourself, could that be meditation or
it could be meditation,
prayer? But
it doesn't even have to be meditation or prayer. It could literally just be not filling in, just silence. Silence. Again, because some of us are so programmed, we have to have the TV on, we have to have the radio on, we have to be in front of the internet, we got to be on our phone. So we don't just even have just silence. So that's another tool, self-reflection, being in silence. And for some, it can be meditation, it can be prayer, absolutely.
Okay. Any other tools? Anything else?
Some other tools are making a decision to change. I mean, that right there is one of the most powerful things that you could ever do, just making that decision. Because again, the law of attraction, you make that decision to change, you will start to have things around you that will happen, that will help you to create that change. Make the decision. You can't be half in and half out. You can't say, well, I hate the fact that, I can't keep money, or I'm not making the money that I want. I want more money. But then you don't want to make a decision to change, to do something about it. So even just making a decision, even if you don't do anything right away, just making that decision to change will start the process for change.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So in November 16th, we are watching Money Mondays. Tonight's special guest is Avalaura Henry, and she is dropping a lot of jewels with us tonight. It seems like everybody is enjoying this. This is one of the biggest audience we've had in quite some time on air. So Avalaura, it's all to you, thanks to you. But Avalaura actually has a special part in this whole Money Mondays journey anyway. She was one of the very first guests we had on, and really encouraged Eddie and myself to keep going and push forward and create the show and keep going. So I just wanted to say thank you for that.
You're welcome.
I definitely appreciate it. If there's anybody that wanted to join in, ask a question directly, or had a comment, I saw a couple of folks wanted to join in earlier. Now is the time.
Hop in the seat, guys.
Hop in the seat, because we are not staying here all night long.
So, guys,
all right, Michael Adams, Solutions MA, is first up the deck.
We have our, just want to let you guys know, we just posted our the next blab in the comments, so check it out. Click
yes.
on it.
Next week's blab is with Michelle Talbert from her Power Hustle podcast. She's going to be helping us with figuring out how to master the networking hustle. So check us out next week, 7:30. How you doing, Michael?
Hey, very good. How are you doing? It's what is it? 1:39 in the morning over here in the UK.
Oh, you're in the UK.
I am.
You're across the pond.
I am. I'm across the pond.
Yes.
How are you doing, Avalaura? How are you doing?
I'm great. It's good to see you.
Good to see you again.
That's the beautiful thing about Blab. We get people from all over the world.
Yeah, you certainly do. Now, listen. I got a couple of things. I love the conversation. One of the things that, I've been in a situation where I can be quite honest. I had never found it difficult to attract money, but I went through a journey myself where, I'm a 2 times millionaire. I've had it, lost it, got it back again, and been on that journey. And I kind of remember that some of the things that I've said. Kamara, you used the term relationship with money, and that really resonated with me, because for me, I think that money is, I come from a very humble background. So when I acquired money, it really had a different meaning to me. It didn't actually have, I didn't actually have a sense of value. I just had a sense of, I've got this money, and things happened to change in my life, and different things started to change because it started to become about the money, rather than about my existence. And what in fact happened the first time round when I lost my money, really, I can't even say there was a grieving process. I think what happened was it kind of represented everything that wasn't good, because when I didn't have money, there weren't any problems. But as soon as I acquired it, I acquired all of this baggage as well. And it just did not represent something that I felt I could gravitate towards, that I felt that I kind of wanted. But nevertheless, I went again, and bang, I attracted the money again. But there was a difference. And I think the difference was that, having been there, I was very, very clear about the role that money would represent in my life. Whereas before I wasn't. Before, it was being dictated to me, the role that money would play in my life. And what really brought me round was recognizing, and when we start talking about the things where the manner in which I attracted money, I think that when I attract money is when I'm satisfied with who I am right at the time, regardless of how much I've got. So when I get to that place where I'm satisfied with me, whether I've got $1, I'll use American currency, or
a pound,
or a couple of, or a pound, there we go, or a couple of $1 million. It was the thing of being satisfied with who I am right at that moment that actually attracted the money. When I got onto the game of being dissatisfied and therefore chasing the money, that's when it became harder. That's when it became harder to retain what I had, and also to attract what I didn't have. So bringing yourself to that place where you can humble yourself and be satisfied with whatever is in front of you right now, being present right now, was the key for me to attracting abundance. Because if you feel abundant, no matter what's in front of you, it breeds abundance. And I think Avalaura was spot on in how she broke that down. I mean, all I can do is share my real life experience. This is who I've been, what has happened to me, and it's a journey that, to be honest with you, I wouldn't change, because I learned so much when I lost the money, and I can honestly say that when I realized I could be happy no matter what, that's when the money came back. It didn't come back before that. It came back that I, in the realm where I was able to really enjoy who I was at the time. Because the other thing is, when you've got money, you grow a lot of false friends. You don't see it, and believe you me, they grow. They come out of nowhere.
So, Michael, you're saying that it wasn't some snazzy new product or service that you developed, some new snazzy offer that you're putting out to the world. It was really how you felt internally with yourself.
Yeah. I mean, I am guilty of being a marketing person. That's what I've done, and I get paid the big bucks for coming up with marketing campaigns. So for me, no, I didn't have a get rich quick scheme. All I had was I've talked to Avalaura about this in the past. I mean, I believe that the aura and the energy that you bring to a situation can dictate where that situation goes.
Don't get woo, Michael.
Yeah.
He already got woo on us, but it's okay. It's all right.
But that's all right.
I was going to say, hey, Michael, if you're feeling great, create a marketing campaign for me and Eddie so we can take Money Mondays all around.
There you go, man.
But it starts from believing that you can.
That's right.
It doesn't go anywhere unless you believe you can. If you believe you can, then you'll start taking the steps towards it. The problem that we have, and I think Avalaura again mentioned it, is that we want to go from A to Z, and we're not learning to celebrate the step from A to B and then from B to C. Because if we learn to celebrate that, learn to be satisfied with that progress, you'll be very surprised at how quickly you get to Z. Very, very surprised.
Easily, without the fight.
Yeah. And that's where I find myself right now in my life, that I do okay. I do well. But I'd be all right if I wasn't being measured in that realm,
right?
Because I'm gaining happiness in other things, and that energy that I gain that happiness from actually brings me into another world where you bring the right person into the situation. And when you bring the right person into the situation, the results happen.
Yeah.
The results happen. So learn to be, my key message before I go to my bed is learn to be satisfied with right now.
Yeah.
And if you start to get satisfied with right now, who you are, the rest starts to happen. So if that's woo-woo me all the way.
Thank you, Michael. That was awesome.
All right, Mike.
All right.
Thank you, Michael.
Yeah, good night.
Good night. All righty. Michael dropped some jewels on us. Anybody else want to jump in the seat?
Always drops jewels. Yeah. And so he spoke to another tool that I teach, and of course that is gratitude. It's gratitude. It's really being happy with what you have right now in this moment, appreciating it. And that appreciation will spark more things to be grateful for.
I think that's what they talk about in The Secret, right? Law of attraction.
It is. I mean, it certainly is in a sense, but it starts with being okay with exactly what you already have, not needing more.
Okay. I feel like there's an insider joke that I'm not inside on. So Alex Daily TV is asking everybody to read the Torah today.
That's what Alex does.
So that's just what he does.
That's what Alex does.
Does he read the Torah?
Yes, he does.
Okay. So does he teach about the Torah or?
No, he comes. Well, I don't know, but he comes into your blab, and Alex comes in and he says, read the Torah. There you go. It will change your life. That's what Alex does. Okay.
Well, I read Proverbs. And Proverbs will be a part of the Torah. So I guess I'm cool.
But Kamar, your question about the show, Michael just made me think of something, because we've had our show on Blab. Let's see, we're going into our 8th week. This will be our 8th week. So wow, 2 months. Okay. Our show Boot to Boom, an entrepreneur's roadmap from bootstrap to booming. And I had the vision for this show. And I knew when I had the vision for this show, I knew it was going to be successful. I knew it. And it's become, in a short amount of time, even more successful than I even thought. And I didn't know how it was going to be successful. I had no idea how, but I just knew that it was. But I still had to do the work. I had to do the work to make it a success.
So Alex Daly just said something, and I just feel so compelled to respond to it. Not to cut you off. So Alex said, "You never know. You might have had Jewish ancestors." I'm sure I do, since the Hebrews were originally African. So I don't think that's a far stretch. So
Don't let Alex blab, Jack.
I was watching Oprah and her kind of daily ritual. She says she has a gratitude journal.
Mm-hmm.
And so is that something you would suggest, Avalaura?
Yeah, gratitude journal is great. There are so many different ways to express gratitude. And that's just one of the many ways. And so I think, having a gratitude journal became popular because of Oprah. But it's not even something that you have to write down if you don't want to. Just thinking about things that you are grateful for. If you just look around your house and you say, wow, you know what, I'm grateful that I have this bed. I'm grateful that I have this laptop that I can, be on Blab, right now. I'm grateful to be able to communicate literally with people from all over the world right here from the comfort of my home. So if you just look at what's already around you right here and be grateful for it, that sparks a feeling of happiness. It sparks a feeling of appreciation. That sparks a feeling of, wow, I really have a lot. I have a lot more than I even realized. You don't have to write that down. You just feel it.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different ways of expressing gratitude. I think I've actually pretty much everything that I write about, I have 2 books, and in both those books I talk about gratitude.
There's this YouTuber that I used to watch. She said that she, every single time she felt good about herself or that something good happened or just in general, she would put something nice about herself in a jar, something that she appreciated, something that she thought was cool. And whenever she was sad, she would go in the jar and then look at all the things that, she said that she was grateful for, that she thought was cool about herself. So I guess it uplifted her spirit whenever she was sad.
Exactly.
Now,
That's actually an assignment, similar, not exactly like that, but I actually gave my client today a similar assignment. Yeah.
Now, Brown at 23 said one can express gratitude by adding value to someone else's life.
Sure.
Yeah,
sure. Yeah. So another way of expressing gratitude is just, sending a note, send a text, an email, somebody who's done something for you and just tell them, thank you. I appreciate you. That makes them feel better. And it also makes you feel better. So just thanking, how often do we actually thank people?
Not often. Sunshine, why don't you just jump on in the seat? You've been asking questions all night. Come on in. Let's put a voice with a face so we can all become family. Khalifa J just said, I appreciate all of you. Thank you.
I appreciate you
we
too.
Appreciate you, Khalifa.
Yeah, we appreciate you. Appreciate you watching. Okay, Internal Sun 333 said, give her a sec.
That's Lauren. Any other questions? There were so many comments. I wish I could have seen them all. I tried to go back, but there were just so many, so I know I missed a lot. I am grateful for this wonderful experience. My first time with Money Mondays. Thank you all. You're truly beautiful. Thank you, Gina. Thank you for being here.
Yes, thank you, Gina.
Was it Gina? Was it you the one that said that you had a property under contract, first time investor?
Oh, and Gina is an interior designer.
Oh, awesome.
So, Eddie, she probably could give you some tips for making your houses pretty, those ugly homes, and converting them.
Exactly.
Make sure you follow us, Gina.
She might be a stager. Gina, after the show, feel free to hop in and tell me about the deal that you have. See if I can help you out.
Very cool. See, all these connections. I'm grateful for all these connections. It's amazing, the short time I've been on Blab, how many amazing, really valuable connections I've made. Not surface connections, but real connections, real relationships with people.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, you said you've been on Blab for 9 weeks. I need to go back. I don't even remember how I've done.
No, I haven't. I've been on Blab more than that. My show has been on for 8 weeks now. This will be the 8th week.
Okay, and so while we're talking, when does your show come on?
It's Tuesday night, so it comes on tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Eastern, and tomorrow's guest is going to be George Frazier.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
Yep. He will be on tomorrow. So we've had some great guests. We've had some really great guests. I'm blessed. Yeah, we've had Paul Brunson was on. Last week we had Mario Armstrong.
Okay.
Lucinda Cross was on. We've had some really good people.
Mario is doing his thing.
Yes, he is. He is. I'm proud of him and Paul. Both of them now are getting shows. So everybody comes to Boom, they're gonna get their own show.
Paul does the Mentor Mondays. Actually, we decided
the Mentor Mondays, but he's also gonna be on. He's gonna be doing primetime ABC now.
Really, I can believe that.
Yep.
That's good.
He made that announcement. Yep.
Lauren, hey,
Lauren. Hey, Ava.
Hi, Lauren.
Hey, I just I was listening when you were talking about the 60,000 thoughts, and 80% of them are negative. So what I wanted to know is what do you do with your clients, or what kind of exercises can you do to bring those? Because I feel like a lot of times we have negative thoughts and we don't even know it till we're faced with a situation. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? So how do you bring those into from the subconscious into the conscious mind so you can deal with them?
Yeah, I mean, part of what Eddie was asking me about, what are the things that you can do, that is part of it. So the journaling, the sitting in silence, the meditating, the praying, all of those being very introspective. But that really is a step-by-step process that I take my clients through. And that's what I was saying. Truthfully, help with that. You can't do it alone, because there's going to be a lot of things that you don't even see. And then sometimes even when you see it, you don't make the connection. So it's right there in front of your face. It's right there in your nose, but you can't even make the connection because you're so attached to it. It's all that you know. You can't be, like me, an objective party that can see it for exactly what it is. You're too emotionally connected to it.
Okay.
So it really is a step-by-step process of absolutely going into your unconscious, those things that you're not even aware of, you don't even think about. There's going to be some things that come to the surface quickly. So when you start being more introspective, when you start writing things down, there's some things that'll come quickly. So if you just ask yourself, what are my beliefs about money? What were my childhood experiences around money? What did my mother believe about money? What did my father believe about money? What did they teach me about money? You can start to ask yourself those questions and answer those questions, and you'll get answers. But then there's going to be some stuff that's even deeper than the answers that you get, and that's going to be where you need help. Because there's some stuff that's going to come up. You're going to be like, oh, yeah, that's easy. I know that. But then the more painful things are going to be the ones that are not going to come up right away. You're going to need help to dig them up.
Okay. So get a coach.
Get a coach.
Get
a coach. Okay. I mean, you can start the process, make a decision. Make a decision. And absolutely start the process. But if you want to get successful very quickly, get a coach.
Okay.
You can try and do it by yourself, but I have tons of people who say, I've been dealing with this for 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. They could have just got a coach and been done with it. It's very difficult to do this work alone.
Okay. All right. Thank you. That was my question.
All right. Well, thank you, Sunshine. Lauren.
Thank you, guys.
All right, now. See you, Lauren. 8:59.
8:59. Anybody else want to jump in the chair?
This has been awesome.
Yeah, we're going to have you back.
Why did Alex Daly said he's leaving?
I don't know. Because y'all called him out about the Torah comment.
When did he say he was leaving? I didn't see that.
I see it now. He said, I'll be happy to leave. Have a good day.
Oh, what? You said something?
It's Kamara's fault.
Hey, listen.
Let's see. You had a question. What was your question? Do you want to come on and ask it? I don't know. MMM Consultants?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Come on in.
Sharita. Eddie restated it. Okay, well, did I answer it? She said you restated it, but I don't know what it was. You're welcome, Lauren. Have a good night.
All right, guys. So it is 9 p.m. Once again, make sure you guys subscribe to the new blab. Looks like we are. Looks like everybody's out of questions now.
Yeah.
I'm ready to hit.
I don't know. Yeah. Sharita says she had a question, but hopefully, I don't know if it got answered or not. I'm not sure. So hopefully it got answered. Sharita, if not, you can post it again if it didn't get answered. No, but that's okay. Okay.
Feel free to jump in the chairs. What was it, Miss Consulting? M&M Consulting?
Yeah, hop on in.
You still have an opportunity. We are not stopping you from asking your question.
All right, here she comes. There we go.
There we go.
We don't want to leave any questions unanswered.
Hey,
It's about to start a revolution.
How are you?
Oh, we can't hear you.
I can't hear you. Refresh your browser. F5. So I want to start journaling and meditating every day.
You don't meditate, man?
No, I do meditate.
Come on, bro.
I do meditate.
And look, and you don't have to meditate long. Really a few minutes a day. I actually do meditation Periscope every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern, and it's a 10-minute meditation. 10 minutes. So just to show you how it doesn't have to be a long time. You can do a quick meditation, and it's effective.
You
All
ever
right,
heard
you're
of
back now. Can you hear us now?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good.
So my question was, how can you get past the stuck place when you've hit another valley and it seems like you consecutively hit deeper and deeper valleys and you're like, okay, now what?
That sounds very similar to Lauren's question in terms of the work, the work. Because that's really what you're talking about. Because what you're saying is you have an experience and you might be able to get yourself out of that experience, but then you go right back into it.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're going in and out of it because what happens is you might do something temporarily to get out of it, but it's still there with you. You haven't done the work to release it and let it go and to replace it.
Okay.
So that's what needs to happen. And so until you let it go, until you release it and let it go, you're going to continually hit it because it's always going to be there. You can't stuff it down. I tell women all the time, a lot of times we feel like because we're not feeling something right in the moment that it doesn't exist.
Okay.
But if you haven't done any work to release those feelings and let it go, it's right there with you. It's in your body. It's creating disease. It's creating dysfunction. It's creating the life that you don't want because you haven't done the work to get it up and out and let it go.
Okay. That answers the question.
I know it's not what you want to hear. It's not sexy. I know, but it's the truth.
Well, no, it's not about it not being what I want to hear. It's just I don't know what it is at this point. Like I've addressed a lot of things and this is different. So yeah.
That's why you got to hire me or somebody like me because you can't, I have to say this to women all the time. We are not here alone. We are not independent beings. We are interdependent. This is the work. You're not supposed to do it alone. We're not created to do things alone. You can't see the things that you can't see. We say all the time, you don't know what you don't know. So it's not really necessarily for you to know how to do it. What's necessary for you to know is that you have some things that are creating a problem for you. You don't like it. Make a decision to change it and then decide what course of action you're going to take to change it. But you don't need to know the how. That's what I do. I'm telling you the how. You just need to make a decision that you want to change it.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Mm-hmm. That makes perfect sense. And it's not like I want to do it alone or anything like that. Like I do want the help. So
give me a call. DM me. Well, you have all my information. My website is avalaura.com. You can also hit me up on Twitter. You can DM me. And let's talk.
Okay. That sounds good.
Thanks, Sharita. See, I'm glad you came on and asked your question because I don't remember that question at all.
Yeah, it's just off to the side somewhere. That's why I was like, okay, you guys are wrapping up. It's okay. I'm not holding anybody up.
Stake your claim. Stake your claim. We want to answer all the questions.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you guys.
All right,
You're
thank
welcome.
you. Thanks for watching.
That women have blind spots all the time, as magnificent as we are. Yeah, we all have blind spots.
All right, hold up. Hold the pressure. Oh, man. There's two fellas here. There's men in the room. Don't we all have the same issues, folks? Can we all just get along?
We all have blind spots.
Can we all just get along? Jeez.
She said people have blind spots too. I love it.
People.
Thank you, Butterfly.
Thanks for telling Little Bird, Felicia Muhammad. I definitely appreciate you.
Hey, Felicia, I didn't see her. Yeah, so people just come in.
So, all right. So I gotta meditate. I gotta meditate, and I gotta journal. And what else? I gotta
sit in silence, reflect.
Sit in silence and reflect. All right.
Be grateful.
I'm always grateful.
Make a decision.
And download Amvana.
Who?
You use Amvana, Avalaura? You ever heard of that website?
No.
It's has like a couple of meditative, things like that to help you out. They have an app for it.
It might be too woo-woo for Kamari. Might be too much.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Might be too much.
Laura, what you don't realize is I got a lot of jokes, but I'm probably actually the most woo-woo person you know.
I'm just joking. I know you are. That's what I'm joking with you.
Yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool with woo-woo.
Natalie said.
Oh, Natalie. Hey, Eddie, Natalie's in the house. Let me tell you how Natalie had me on this other blab with this dude that was hilarious. I can't remember his name, but I actually got to talk and see Natalie. I've been meaning to tell you that.
Oh, what?
Yes.
Natalie
she has a
you
face.
normally don't see her?
No.
Natalie is a troll.
Oh, so she finally graced you with her presence.
Natalie, you want to hop in the seat?
I'm not a Tupac hopper.
She said, I'm real. There's another question over here.
Yeah, it says reflection
is a great thing. When is it best to reflect? Before you start your day, in the middle of your day, or at the end of the day? Good question.
Brownette 23, hop in a chair.
Hop in, Brownette.
Yeah, hop in.
Does Brownette know how to use Blab? Because she doesn't have a picture yet. Get a picture, Brownette. We want to see you. Definitely add a picture. But to answer that question, look, here's the thing. Let's not get caught up in when's the best time. The best time is when you actually do it. The best time is when you actually just do it, because we can get caught up in, I need to do it in the morning, and then you're rushing in the morning, you don't get it done, and then you just don't do it because you thought that the morning time was the best time to do it. Just do it. So if the morning is better for you, do it in the morning. If your schedule, if the evening is better, do it in the evening. If you're scheduled the middle of the day on your lunch break, you can do it then. So really go by your schedule and what's going to work for you. Because the thing is that all of these things don't work unless you work them. So a lot of times we try to create these ideal situations, it has to be done exactly this way. That's why a lot of people don't meditate, because they think they have to meditate for 30 minutes a day and they don't have time to do it. Right. And you don't have to meditate 30 minutes a day. You can meditate for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And then what ends up happening is that you enjoy it so much you actually end up meditating for 30 minutes a day. So just start somewhere. So Brownette, if, look at your schedule, give you in 5 minutes, just 5 minutes of just sitting quietly and reflecting.
It's all about chunking.
Absolutely.
They say, if you don't have an hour, if you don't have 30 minutes, you have 10 minutes.
Right.
So
even better than that, you have 1 minute.
Exactly.
I mean, we all have it. How much time do you spend on Facebook? How much time do you spend texting?
Too much time.
You got 5 minutes. You got 10 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. How many minutes are we spending on Blab right now? We have the time. It's really how we're using it, what we're prioritizing.
It's the only thing. Time is the only thing in this world that is created equal.
Absolutely.
We all have the same amount of. We don't have the same amount of opportunity. We don't have the same amount of money, things like that, but we have the same amount of time.
That's it. That's it.
Yep.
Yeah. So thank you. You're welcome. Thank you for your question. It's like the longer we stay on, more people come on. Hey, Larissa. That's what happens on Blab.
Yep. I'm a mother, wife, and daughter. Okay, cool. French, Spanish, and English.
You reading somebody?
Cool.
All right, so let's conclude this session, and we can, go off the record now. So thanks everybody for attending. Actually, I just counted up. This is our 10th Blab. So we're moving some numbers out there.
Like 2 episodes.
Yeah, this is our 10th Blab. So next week's episode will be Blab number 11, episode number 11, with Michelle Tauber from Her Power Hustle podcast, and Michelle's going to come on and help us master the art and science of networking. So next week should be very, very interesting.
We gotta interview somebody famous like Avalaura, like the Rock or something.
Let me tell you something. That's all belief. I'm telling you. I just started asking people to do this. People are like, how'd you get them? I asked.
Yeah, I've interviewed famous people. Eddie, I've interviewed famous people. Go check out my podcast, The $1 Million Trek.
I mean, well, I know you do know me.
Srini Rao.
He knows me. He knows me too.
That's right.
Yeah. You asked me to be on your show.
Exactly.
Tiny Chambers, Tiny superstar, So Avalaura, before we go off, give everybody your contact info, where you are, what projects you're working on, and how they can contact you.
Absolutely. So you can contact me. See my website, avalaura.com. AVALAURA.com. I am Googleicious, so I am literally all over social media.
Googleicious.
Yes. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Periscope. You just type in my name. I'm the only Avalaura, so I will come up.
Bam.
So you don't have to worry about that. That's the beauty of having a unique name. On Facebook is probably mostly where I hang out. I have a group, Super Soul Success. So you can definitely join that.
And can anybody join that, or is it paid, or is it free?
Anybody can join that. It's really all about defining success on your own terms, according to your own soul, according to who you are. Anybody can join that.
And Eddie, I'm guessing Eddie's probably in there, but I haven't been added. So
Eddie, are you in there? I don't know if Eddie's in there.
No.
And now I will say this, that women tend to be more active, but there are men in the group. There are definitely men in the group. So I will just make that known. But you can change that. You can change that.
You know what that means, Eddie.
Is Eddie my brother? No. So in terms of what I have going on.
But hey, I mean, I could be a brother.
I'll claim you. We cool. I'm not. Was she just joking? Okay. I don't know, Larissa. What's going on? Why you asked that question? In terms of what I have going on, there's always a lot going on, but you can catch me on Blab on our show Boot to Boom, an entrepreneur's roadmap from bootstrap to booming. That's every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern. And then I always have so many different projects. I'm actually launching something in February that's going to be very powerful global service movement. So definitely make sure you connect with me. Stay tuned. It's going to be all over social media, so you will know about that.
Okay. All right,
sister.
I got another brother. Cool.
Are you gonna be at Mom's house for Thanksgiving?
We'll talk about that. We'll talk.
Well, thanks everybody for watching and listening to this episode of Money Mondays. It's the 10th episode we just found out, and we talked with Avalaura Bahari about how to use the law of attraction to make money. But actually, we talked about way more than the law of attraction. So when you get a chance, listen in and give us a rating on whatever service you find us on. Thank you so much and have a great day. All right, pause the recording.
Okay.